Are Ipswich back to their best? That's what we're exploring this week with Iain on the Ipswich View, and we're going to be chatting all things Birmingham City this weekend and 100 games up now for McKenna. How are you, Iain?
A lot happier than I was a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I think we've found our mojo.
Yeah, those tractor memes have stopped, haven't they, from Norwich fans? The wheels seems to be back on the tractors, yeah?
I don't think they were ever off, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, going one win in 9 games wasn't good. But then you look at the other way, we only lost one. So, yeah, it was, if I don't count Maidstone, obviously. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're playing two teams which are struggling at the moment. But what was the difference in setup, tactics, formations at Swansea and of course Millwall?
I think you're going to get a couple of strains of thought on that one. One was Amari Hutchinson started. Initially, he started the other night instead of Chaplin in the middle. You see Amari Hutchinson and Wes Burns, their link-up is a lot more than maybe Burns and Chaplin is. Chaplin likes to float into the top of the box, whereas Amari Hutchinson comes out wide and plays with Burns, and suddenly you've got this, two wingers really absolutely hammering the other team's left-back. We've also had Cameron Burgess come back into the team from Australia. I was quite happy with the way George Edmondson was playing, but there are people saying that, since Burgess has been back in the team, we haven't lost. So I think that's just probably a bit harsh on Edmondson, to be fair. So the only real difference I can see is that Amari Hutchinson gets to start, and Hladky has been getting rid of the ball a bit further downfield, where maybe before he would have done the stupid antics at the back of the pitch, which have left us with a few grey hairs.
And just on the points total and where you sit, obviously Leicester losing will have sent a ripple through, yourself, Leeds and Southampton. With those teams going well and yourselves now back in it, are you excited for the end of the season?
It's fantastic. I mean, Leeds 5 on the trot. Southampton, disregard Bristol City, to go like 20 odd games undefeated. Leicester, do they become a bit complacent and then lose at home to Borough? Yeah, I mean, what it does for us, we're now sat in 4th. The pressure is elsewhere. We'll kind of take advantage of that. Look at the games going in the next 5 games. I would say on paper, ours look a little bit easier, all respect to all the other teams, but on paper. It doesn't mean it is, though, because as we know, there are teams who are fighting for their lives. Birmingham, we play on Saturday, have had a real resurgence with Mowbray at the helm. And yeah, it's a chance now for Ipswich to concentrate on our own game, not worry about looking over our shoulder. I think that the Leeds-Leicester game coming up is going to be a phenomenal fixture. Looking at Southampton, they've got a few fixtures as well. And it's setting up nicely for the last few weeks of the season. And that Leeds-Southampton game could potentially decide one or two things, even automatic or playoff place.
Right, let's have a quick look at your home fixtures to come then, and then we'll bring Adam in, who's our Birmingham fan. Yeah. So your home fixtures, Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday, Southampton, Watford, Middlesbrough, Huddersfield. By the time you play most of these teams, there's not hopefully going to be much riding on them. You'd sooner play these teams than teams probably fighting out at the bottom. Which of the 3 sets of home fixtures would you prefer, do you think?
If I was to look at those, I'm always inclined to say I would rather have. In fact, no, I'd rather keep our own, to be honest. No, I was thinking maybe the Leeds fixtures look tasty, but it's too much riding on the last game of the season. We've got some nice fixtures there. Southampton's a 6-pointer. Huddersfield, I mean, you listen to some Huddersfield fans, they seem adamant they're going to make the playoffs. Don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting run. You just focus on our own games, I guess.
Okay, let's focus on the next game then coming up then, and we're joined by our resident Blues fan, Adam. How are you, Adam?
All good, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we want to wish Tony Mowbray all the best on this channel. Obviously, worrying news, I'm sure, for Blues fans coming today. What have you heard, and what's the latest?
I don't know. The club and Mowbray, I think, are trying to keep it under wraps, aren't they? I think so. Obviously, that's never good news. Otherwise, I think they'd just try and squash if that wasn't a serious case. But 6 to 8 weeks without him now, just as we were starting to look like a team. that we're doing well. So yeah, a bit of bad news, but we'll keep going. I'm sure the players will fight even more through now.
Yeah, this was a good game, wasn't it, at St Andrews when Ipswich visited? Iain, do you expect another goal fest this weekend?
I don't know, because it was a weird time in the season for Birmingham. The whole Rooney effect, and I think the weather, if I remember rightly, was a bit wet as well. Evening game. When Mowbray comes back down to Portman Road, it's always a good fixture for us because he was being such a servant to us. I think that the worry for me is, if you needed the team talk before the Ipswich game, from Brum's point of view, it's, Mark Venus in there, saying that let's do this one for Tony. So I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want Tony to be away anyway, but I really don't need that on their side as some form of incentive.
Yeah, it's one of those games, Adam, where you might not remember it because Rooney's team went 2-0 up, and then I think Ipswich came back in the last 10 minutes and equalised to make it 2-2. There's one of those rare Rooney episodes that were successful. What have you made of Ipswich as a team, and do you fancy your chances this weekend?
Well, they've done well. I think I said right at the beginning of the season, I knew they wouldn't get automatic. I think they might scrape the last place of the playoffs. I think they'll tail off a little bit, which I think they have done the last couple of weeks. But yeah, listen, I'm positive in anything Blues do at the minute. Mowbray's got us ticking. We've just won 2 on the trot. We look positive. Even going a goal behind the weekend, we still bounced back and won that. So yeah, I see a good game there. I'm quietly confident we'll get a result.
Brilliant.
Someone's at my door.
Even the doorbell agrees. Right, Iain, let's get some score predictions from you then, please. Ipswich, Birmingham. I can't call this one, actually.
Sure, if we can keep Stansford quiet, because that's going to be a point of interest. I can see Ipswich, let's hope we get a good result this week at home to Rotherham. That'll be 3 games on the trot. Let's make Birmingham the 4th game. I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win. I think we've kind of shored things up at the back. I think the opportunity to get goals against us may have passed. We'll see. 2-0 Ipswich.
Okay, and I'm sure John Ruddy will get a nice warm reception, won't he? From
we love an ex-Norwich player.
Adam?
I see this as a draw. I'm going to go. I think both teams can score. So I'm going to say 2-2.
Nice one. Okay. Enjoy the game, fellas. And if you're an Ipswich fan that hasn't yet subscribed, please do so. Iain's here every single week. 12 more cup finals, Iain. Nearly there.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to mention Crystal Palace, need a manager, at all in this video. Are you proud of me? Didn't mention it once.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The amount of people Carrick's now linked with the Crystal Palace job. Well, yes, we're happy with the distraction. That's good. Yeah.
All right, nice one. We'll catch you next week. Thank you both.
Cheers.